My name is Ori Zohar. I graduated in 2007 and I studied business and marketing at University of Maryland. I was interested in entrepreneurship ever since I was a little kid. As soon as I, was old enough, I started DJing little parties with like a 3 CD changer that my parents bought me. For those around my age will remember those big fat boom boxes. And so I got one of those for my birthday. I said, I can DJ parties. Why not? I burned CDs, downloaded music, and that's got me off to my entrepreneurial journey. I was like, hey, this is a thing. I really want to do this. And so that was the beginning of my love affair with entrepreneurship. My current business is called Burlap and Barrel Single Origin Spices. I started with a good friend of mine, Ethan, and we had an ice cream business back in 2010. He was always cooking at restaurants in New York. I was always sitting at the bar eating. And so we became really good friends and dreamt up our food business together. We started with a social enterprise activist ice cream cart that we started in 2010. He had a background in international development and in restaurants, and I had a background in business and marketing. From there, bounced over after getting entirely too many cavities from running an ice cream business. I started a mortgage company. So met some investors, decided to explore and build up a mortgage company to help make that big financial decision a little bit easier for people. Cut my teeth as an entrepreneur there, raised $32 million, burned cash, eventually had to sell it to one of our investors. So I really learned a lot of lessons, a lot about what not to do. And by then, Ethan had come back from Afghanistan as an aid worker, got his master's in international development, and brought back the most incredible spice that I'd ever tasted. And we knew that our next business together would be a social enterprise on bringing incredible spices directly from smallholder farmers. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO. And my real focus is on e-commerce, on kind of building the business of our little business. What we do is we work directly with smallholder farmers. We set them up to be their own direct exporters. So we're able to leave a lot more money with the farmers, and we're able to get access to really incredible, really fresh, really tasty spices. And so what we're working on is changing the way that people think about spices. We know where our chocolate and coffee and tea comes from. We love going to farmers markets. We love going to the butcher for really fresh meat. We should do the same thing with our spices. Cinnamon's tree bark, peppercorns grow in bunches, in vines like grapes. So it's time to get to know our spices. It's time to become better cooks. And it's time to really impress our friends and family with some of these spices. So check us out at burlapandbarrel.com. All the entrepreneurs that I talk to, and I felt this way myself too, everybody talks about imposter syndrome. Everybody talks about not knowing what you're doing and then feeling bad about that. And you know what? Nobody knows what they're doing when they begin. And I think it's by saying, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be a student. I'm going to learn. I came into this business without any background in food, without really any background in spices, supply chains, grocery, farming, any of that stuff. And in many cases, being an outsider is super helpful because you come in with a fresh set of eyes, you come in with new thoughts, you come in with clever solutions on how to approach this stuff. So actually be aware of the things you don't know, but you can also use it as a strength to build a really unique and really incredible business. University of Maryland was like the ultimate place to kind of figure it out and try out new things. And I think like entrepreneurship is very much so like a muscle. There are different businesses, each have their different needs and ways that they work, but every entrepreneur has to figure out, who's my customer? What do I want to tell them? What's my price point? How do I keep stuff in stock? What am I building? How am I prioritizing? That's universal across every business. So University of Maryland gave me a great chance to try that out. I started a cap and gown business where I bought caps and gowns from graduating seniors for $20 and sold them for $50 the next semester. I started selling popcorn in between classes for $1 from a popcorn machine. I don't know, just try things out. You don't have to think about it too much. You're going to get better with every single venture. You don't have to wait for that crazy like light bulb opportunity where like the ocean parts, like life turns into Technicolor. Instead, just try to like follow some ideas that you have, keep doing them. And with every single entrepreneurial project that you do, you end up getting better at it. It took me 10, 15 years to get to Burlap and Barrel and be able to really run a profitable, wonderful social enterprise in this way. I couldn't have done it without all the other entrepreneurial ventures and attempts and all that stuff. And here I am. So I encourage you to try it out yourself too.